All right, Vayikra chapter 1. Let's get it, Zakim.
Start with verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Everybody there? Okay. Now Yahuah called Moshe and spoke to him from the tabernacle of meeting, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when any one of you brings an offering to Yahuah, you shall bring your offering of the livestock, of the herd, and of the flocks.
All right, so this is about offering to give to Yahuah. Y'all, all right, let's hone on in, Mishpacha. Let's hone on in. So, all right, y'all. So, we're back in the Word now. We're back in the Word. So, what we're talking about, Mishpacha, is an offering. An offering is something that's acceptable to Yahuah. Right now, that you can give to Yahuah, that He will receive, and He will bless you for that. But nevertheless, what this is saying is that when any of you bring an offering to Yahuah, He's telling you exactly what you shall bring. He's saying you shall bring your offering of the what?
Livestock.
Of what else?
Herd of the flock.
And of the
Flock.
These are offerings that you can give to Yahuah that He will accept. These are thub offerings that you can give to the Most High. You get what I'm saying? Y'all remember the story of Cain and Abel?
Yes, sir.
Let's go there real quick. Bereshit chapter 4. All right, let's look at verse 3. Everybody there? Bereshit chapter 4, verse 3. Let's go.
And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to Yahuah.
So what did Cain bring? He brought the fruit of the ground to Yahuah, right?
Yes, sir.
What did Yahuah saying, Vayikra 1? If you want to bring an offering to me, it needs to be of the livestock, of the flocks. Okay, let's keep reading verse 4.
Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock.
He brought what?
Firstborn of his flock.
He brought what, Zakim?
Of the firstborn of his flock.
Keep going.
And of their fat.
Keep going.
And Yahuah respected Abel in his offering.
I wonder why. Abel understood something about Torah, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Way back then. Verse 5.
But he did not respect Cain in his offering. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell.
Have you ever heard of any Torah precept that's saying if you want to bring an offering to Yahuah, you could bring them some of the fruit from your trees, bring them some grapes, bring them some apples. It's of the livestock, of the herd, and of the flocks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now there are grain offerings and things like that. There is drink offerings. There's all of that, but those always go along with the meat offerings. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Those go along with the livestock, the herd, the flocks, all the, and things like that. All right, let's keep that in mind. Let's keep going. Back to go back to Vayikra 1. And we know what happened, right? We know the whole story. We know that Cain ended up out of envy because Yahuah accepted Abel's offering, and then he went and ended up killing his brother. So let's look at some things real quick. The word for offering. The word for offering is Corban. Y'all see it on the screen? Oh no, let me just get on. Let me do this here. All right, see it now. All right. Oh, toda. I can try that, and that's okay. I appreciate it, though. So nevertheless, Corban, it's the Kuf Resh Bet Noon. That's an offering to Yahuah. That's the Hebrew word for offering. Now, the breakdown, you ain't gonna be able to see right there, son. So the breakdown is so it's basically, I'm gonna just go ahead and summarize it just to get to the point. It's about lifting up your heads. Okay? So I'm gonna give the breakdown. It's about lifting up the head of the house by the seed. So it's about the lifting up. It's about lifting up the head of the house by the seed. Get what I'm saying? So it's about the seed lifting up the rosh, lifting up the heads. Yes. The word Corban, the Hebrew word for offering, a sacrifice, an offering, it surrounds around lifting up your heads. This is why praise is Corban. It's Corban. In other words, praise is an offering. This is why prayers is Corban. This is what, see, these are the things that the person who wrote about lifting up your heads, which is David, King Melech Dawood, he's the one who also championed knowing that praise is an offering to Yahuah. It's Corban. When you worship him with a dance, worship him with a song, that is Corban. Yahuah will accept that as an offering that's acceptable to him, that's pleasing to him. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's about lifting up the rosh. Lifting up the rosh of the house, the head of the house, by the seed. So when the sons of Aharon were offering up offerings, let's put it this way. The way to lift up your heads is through offerings. It's through sacrifice. That's a major way to be able to lift up your head. So because we talk about lifting up your heads, lift up your heads, oh ye gates, lift up your heads. But how do you do that? See what I'm saying? We never looked at how do you do that, man. It's through the sacrifice. Yeah. That's why sacrificing was so important to Yahuah. I mean, it was significant. It's so significant that you have a whole book, Vayikra, that's pretty much the whole beginning of pretty much the whole half of the book is about sacrifices. They were so in-depth. It was so specific. Because the whole process of moving with Yahuah is through sacrifice. He's like, okay, I want y'all to build this tabernacle so I will dwell with you. But in order for this to really work, man, I'm going to have to set up this whole system of sacrifices. Like, man, look. We didn't go through all of it, but man, look, every day I need you to do the offerings and a rev and a boker. Like, why do you think we do a rev prayer, boker prayer? Because we know and we understand that prayer is Corban. We don't have a Torah, we don't have a tabernacle, we don't have those things like that in place right now fully. You know what I'm saying? But there's things we can do that are Corban to Yahuah, acceptable to him. Pleasing to him, that he will receive as an offering. That's a sweet aroma to him. All right, let's keep that in mind. Okay, this is in the book of Mark. Y'all can read it on the screen. This is Yahusha talking right here. He said to them, is he talking to the Pharisees, all too well you reject the commandment of Yahuah, that you may keep your tradition. He's talking to the Pharisees. For Moshe said, honor your who? Aren't those your heads? Remember we talked about that? For Moshe said, honor your father and your mother, honor your heads. And he who curses father or mother, let him be put to death. That's Torah. This is what Yahusha is saying to the Pharisees. But you say, if a man says to his father or mother, whatever profit you might have received from me is Corban. So we know that Corban is an offering to Yahuah. So basically the way to look at this is what he's saying is that, but you say, whatever profit that you might have received from me, I'm going to give it to the Most High. So whatever money or whatever I was supposed to give to you to help you, parents, no, it's Corban. I'm going to give it to the Most High. And y'all know that the way to give to the Most High is by giving to the heads, for real. Just read about the sacrificial system. It's to give to the heads. It's to give to the tabernacle system. It's to give to the priests and different things like that. So this was a way that I submit that the Pharisees were exploiting offerings. All right, so the money you got set aside for your parents, that's Corban. Yeah, give it to me. See what I'm saying? That's why Yahushua was getting on them hard. He's like, then you no longer let him do anything for his father or his mother. Because you're saying this set apart money that you have to take care of your parents to line up with Torah, which says to honor your mother and father. You're saying, oh, no, that needs to be given to the Most High. And it's really so you can increase. Yeah, you can increase the treasury over there. Then you no longer let him do anything for his mother or his father, making the word of Yahuah of no effect through your, which you have handed down. And many such things you do. That was just one example. But it's interesting that Corban is about lifting up your head. So Yahushua, when he used that example about what's Corban, and it's interesting that he literally said Corban. He didn't say an offering, did he? The translators didn't translate that word. Ain't that's interesting to me. They just put it in parentheses that what it means. But it's interesting they didn't just translate it like in the Torah. It just says offering. They used a Hebrew word. They said Corban. Because Corban really is a lot more than just an offering. It is a specific type of offering that you give to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And Yahuwah is showing you how to do that in the book of Vayikra. But that's just kind of proving to you that Corban is associated with lifting up your heads. Because he's like, you saying that the thing that's literally about lifting up your heads is Corban, and you're using that to literally not lift up your heads, your mother and your father. Yeah, the irony is crazy. But go back to Vayikra chapter 1, Zakim. Everybody else too. And let's keep going.
Okay, verse 3.
Read verse 2 again.
Verse 2. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when any one of you brings an offering to Yahuwah, you shall bring your offering of the livestock, of the herd, and of the flock. That's
where the offering should come from. See, the offering is Corban. The offering, it got to be, for Yahuwah to accept it, the offering got to come from within. The offering got to be something that's close to you. That's actually in the word Corban, the word Kareb. Do y'all remember that word? Yeah, the word Kareb. What is that word? Anybody remember? Not leadership, though. Close? Yeah, your entrails, your inward parts, Kareb. Kareb. The only difference between Kareb and Corban is the noon. That's the only, everything else is exactly same thing. It's Corban without the noon. It got to come from within. That word, it don't just mean entrails. If you look it up, it means close to you, near, like your kin, near to you. It's the seat of your emotions, the seat of your desires. You give it up to Yahuwah. That's an offering. The word Kareb is about lifting up your heads as well. We know that because it's the same letters. It's about a rising up of the head of the house. It's about lifting up your head. It's about a rising up of the head of the house. So yeah, that's the ruach. This is why it's interesting. We were just talking about the Gentile who wanted to give something, who wanted to give. Something in her understood that giving was a way to lift up her heads. She understood that was the key to her, that was associated with her salvation. If they can accept my offering, she's please. That's why she was like, please take this, because if you would just accept this offering, that could be my salvation. That'll be Corban to Allure. It ain't about you. If she knows that you, Yahuah's people, if I can give, you're the priest to the world, a kingdom of priests, a kingdom of Nabaim. So if I could give to the priest, Yahuah will accept that as an offering to him. Y'all see how this works? Please take this, please. Everybody was like, nah. I didn't even put two and two together at all until Maury just said it just now. I'm like, oh man, I didn't see that. I missed that. I wasn't there when it was happening, but I still, even when they told me about it, I think I might have just been right down the way. Was that the lady when I was trying to tell you? I thought she was asking for money. We thought she was. So I actually was trying to rush everybody like, yeah, y'all, come on, let's go. Let's go. I was trying to, because man, I saw her. I didn't know what she was doing. She looked like, because she was just sitting there just being super emotional. I saw it with Ema Angie. So like, let me help Ema Angie out of this situation. All right, y'all, we about to go. Hey, come on, y'all. Let's go. We about to go on the beach. Come on, y'all. You know, and then finally that kind of broke that up. But man.
He's trying to bless us,
Yeah. And it's the same thing. Like, y'all got to understand, like, where your treasure is, therefore your heart will be as well. Where your treasure is also where your heart is also, something along those lines. Where your treasure is associated with your heart. Why does Yahushua say that? Because your treasure is something that's near to you. It's something that's close to you. And so that's why those offerings are Corban. The fruits, you know, it makes you wonder why the fruits just wasn't through enough to the Most High from Cain. It could have been like, man, Cain probably had flocks too. You're not giving what's near and dear to you. You're not really giving. That's nothing. The fruits, man, that tree, you got that basket of fruits, it's finna bear about 1,000, you know, several hundred more. No. But you're giving from your flock. So not only, so when we're talking, you're not giving the Most High. You notice that wild game wasn't Corban? Y'all notice that? You ain't hear no deer being offered up on the altar, huh? It's clean, ain't it? It's not unclean. Yeah. No deer, no doe, no, it wasn't wild game. No, these is animals that you have a relationship with. Right. Yeah, these are your animals you go and you shepherd every day. That come to you, that know you, that you've been feeding and covering and protecting. You know what I'm saying? And so they near and dear to you. You got a relationship with them. Now that's Corban. Oh yeah, I'll accept that. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm saying Yahuah, he'll accept that. Yeah, we thought it was just Pesach had to be one that was in your house. No, it's any offering. No, you couldn't. It had to be of your livestock, of the flocks and the herds. You can't just go and go out and go hunting and then you can offer that to the Most High. Something you ain't had no relationship with. You know what I'm saying? And so, let's keep that in mind. All right. Let's keep going. Yes, sir.
So that's an interesting point because I remember thinking like, man, like why didn't Cain just like buy a sheep from Abel or something? Or like even in Leviticus, when we read through the Torah portion, there's no provision for you to go buy an offering. It's like if you don't have this, then get a turtle dove. If you don't have a turtle dove, I mean, maybe that's the exception there, but it just wasn't this thing where you can go buy somebody else's sheep and then bring that as your offering. It said if a leader sins, he need to go get an ox. if one of the common people sin, that's how I say it. That's how it's read. Because it's a kingdom. It's kingdom words. It ain't. Don't take no offense at that. But if the common people sin, they got to go get like a goat or a sheep or something like that. But it wasn't like just go buy this offering and bring it. So now that's a very interesting point. It seems like there has to be this connection to it.
Yeah, that's why it had to be a certain age too. I believe. I think some of them had to be up to 1 year old. You had to have a relationship with them. They couldn't be, couldn't be just one you picked up real quick. It had to been, some of them you had to have at least a year. Different things like that. And so, man, very, very interesting. All right.
All right, verse 3. If his offering is a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own free will at the door of the tabernacle of meeting before Yahuah. Then he shall put his hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it will be accepted on his behalf to make atonement for him.
Man.
Verse 5. He shall kill the bull before Yahuah, and the priests, Aaron's sons, shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood all around on the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of meeting.
So this is an offering. You killed a bull, and that's a bull. That's a par, I believe. And y'all remember par? Anybody remember what that breakdown is? Pay resh. Pay word resh. Speaking against the heads. That's a bull. He speaks against the rosh. It's about, this whole thing surrounds around lifting up your head. So a thub offering is to kill the bull, the par. Symbolize speaking against the rosh. You see what I'm saying? Speaking against the head. So you kill that and offering that, and that's a sweet aroma to the Most High. Y'all following that? All right.
Verse 6. And he shall skin the burnt offering and cut it into its pieces. The sons of Aaron, the priest, shall put the fire on the altar and lay the wood in order on the fire. Then the priest, Aaron's sons, shall lay the parts, the head and the fat, in order on the wood that is on the fire upon the altar.
Yeah, this is a whole process. You got to skin the whole thing. Then once you skin it, then the priest, this is the priesthood. They separate, they distinguish. That's why it's a ish. The priesthood, they separated. They lay the heads in order. The head, the fat. They put and place things in order when it comes to. So that's why it's a priestly work when it's time to give an offering to the Most High, and you see like Moray going in and then or Uri or whatever, and they're moving and they say, okay, everybody get on there. I get on that side, get on that. Okay, we're gonna have this thing in the middle. We're gonna woo, and it's a whole thing set up and the order set up so that we could try to give an offering up to Yahuah that He will receive. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 9. But he shall wash its entrails and its legs with water.
He shall wash what?
Entrails.
That's Kareb. That goes back to right here. So that's the entrails. That's the intestines. Yeah, you're not supposed to put like boo-boo on the altar. Not on the Kodesh altar. Right. So y'all know in the world when, our people ate chitlins. Right. If y'all ever seen them, Big Mama and them clean the chitlins. They clean the chitlins, man. They wash it with water. They wash the entrails with water. And it seemed like our people knew how to do that really well. Well, it's interesting that was the priestly work to do that for the entrails of the actual real the Kodesh offerings. Is that you got to wash it with water. That's the living water. Then you put it on the altar. Because anybody know, you clean an entrail, you clean the chitlin, man. There's all kind of stuff that be in them entrail. You got to clean it really through. You got to clean it good.
Ooh-wee.
And it be all kind of, fecal matter that's flowing out of there. Yeah. So you should wash his entrails and his legs with water. But this is also symbolizing about you being a whole burnt offering, that you want to be clean. You know, you want to be washed clean. You want your insides to be clean. You want to be clean inside and out. You don't want to be. Remember when Yahushua was talking about the Pharisees? He's like, on the outside, y'all look great, but on the inside, you just nasty. You know what I'm saying? Outside, y'all just shining, looking great, got the best garments on, but in the inside, you're terrible. So having being a whole burnt offering is you letting the Most High, you letting the priest wash you with water inside and out. To be washed by the water of the word is not just the outer washing, it's the inner and outer cleansing. You know what I'm saying? To be a whole burnt offering, you got to be cleansed inside and outside. Keep going.
Okay. But he shall wash its entrails and its legs with water, and the priest shall burn all on the altar as a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to Yahuah.
So an offering made by fire, we talked about this before. That's the Hebrew word Isha. Literally, that's Isha. Same word for a wife. Isha, that's the word for offering made by fire to Yahuah. Yes, Isha. So that's a whole nother thing right there. We're not gonna get into that. But as far as the word for burning is katab. I put the wrong. It's not Qatar. That's katab. No, it is Qatar. My bad. It's Qatar. I did a wrong Hebrew letter. I did Katab in Hebrew. Man, that's all the way wrong. That's Kareb. So I put the whole wrong thing up there on the top. So just this part right here, I was rushing, so just don't worry about that part. That's not right. So it's supposed to be a Kuf Tet Resh. Kuf Tet Resh. Qatar. It means to burn, and it's about it's a cycle of continual fruit for the chief. So that's the kuf is about like a cycle, the sun rising, the appointed times, things like that. The sun rises and goes down. That's a cycle. Then you got the tet is like a basket or a gift. It could be like a basket of fruit and things like that, or an offering. And then you got the resh, which is a head. So a cycle of continual fruit for the chief. A cycle of continual fruit for the chief. So it's the word is for burn. It's also that same word, Qatar, is also the word for incense. So we know that that's associated with what? Prayers. So prayers is like fruit for the rosh, y'all. And then when it says a sweet aroma to Yahuah, that's like it's similar to Noach. I can't remember the exact words, like Noah. I can't remember. But it goes. It's based. The root word is based off of Noach. Noah. The Hebrew word for a sweet aroma to Yahuah. Yeah, but it's actually based off of Noah. So it's really Noach or Noah. Y'all know the ark. This stuff is all, man, this stuff is related to the ark. So it's not really a sweet aroma to Yahuah. It's more like a soothing, because Noach means to rest. Noah, his name means to rest. So it's more associated with like a soothing aroma that's soothing to the Most High. And the first mention of that word, sweet aroma to Yahuah, was when Noah offered up the sacrifice after the flood. That's the first time that word is mentioned. Because I believe it's in Bereshit 8. So that whole aspect of giving an offering that's a soothing aroma, that's a resting aroma to the Most High, is based off of when he destroyed everybody and started all over with a family. And then they decided to make an offering after that victory. Read verse 2 again. As I can.
Okay. Verse 2. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when any one of you brings an offering to Yahuah, you should bring your offering of the livestock, of the herd, and of the flock.
All right. So the livestock, that's behemoth. So these are the three offerings that was mentioned here. So that's behemoth, and it's about behemoth. You have the bed, that's the house, and then you have the ruach on both sides. Hey, and then the waters. Yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up, but so read verse 2 again.
Verse 2. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when any one of you brings an offering to Yahuah, you should bring your offering of the livestock, of the herd, and of the flock.
All right, so livestock is behemoth. Behemoth. So this is coming back from so in the plural you'll hear behemoth. Yeah. So of the livestock, these are it's like cattle, something big, your oxen. So it's usually it's translated as ox many times. This is not a bull. These are your livestock that are actually you do things, that actually work. But what you see is about the ruach hovering over the waters on behalf of the house. So it's about the ruach hovering over the waters on behalf of the house. You get what I'm saying? It's about the ruach hovering over the waters for the house. It's about the ruach hovering over the waters for the house. And so that goes back to creation. When the ruach hovered over the face of the deep. This goes back to what we were talking about earlier. About how the waters, the wind, somebody saw something about the winds affecting the waters or something like that. I think it was Bethel. But this goes back to the creation week. You get what I'm saying? This goes back to the creation week. So it has to be of the behemoth, the cattle. And what else keep going as I came? The livestock and who else?
Livestock, of the herd, and of the flock.
All right, let's see here. So the herds is Bakar. So these are offerings to the Most High. And Bakar is about the lifting up of the heads as well, y'all. So this is showing you how significant lifting up your heads is when it comes to offerings. This is how you do it. So Bakar is literally the same word as Kareb. It's the same thing, it's just mixed up. So instead of the Kareb would be Kuf, Resh, Bet. Bakar is just Bet, Kuf, Resh. Y'all see it? Y'all see what I'm saying? It's the same word, it's just in different order. And so that's the herds. That's an offering to Yahuah. It's like offering up your Kareb. It's Corban. If one of your offerings comes from the Bakar. It's about a rising up of the head of the house. A rising up of the head of the house is about the lifting up of your heads as well. And then of the flocks is the other offering, and that's zone. It's a stronghold that Yahuah provides for the seed. It's a stronghold for Yahuah's seed. It's a stronghold for Yahuah's seed. That's the flocks. So the flocks, Hebraically, is about the sheep, basically, or the goats. Those are the flocks. But if you look at it in Hebrew, it's very interesting because the flocks, Hebraically, is showing that it's a stronghold for Yahuah's people. So what does that mean? Isn't the when the scriptures talk about that he's coming to feed the flock? Who's the flock? It's us. It's the assemblies. It's the sheep. The flock is the assemblies. It's the mishpachah. That's what the flocks represent. And so you know where Yahuah's people are, where the assemblies are, where he dwells at, that's a stronghold for his people. So we don't use the term stronghold a lot. The best way to explain a stronghold in Babylon, it's like a military base. It's a place of protection, but it's not just protection because it's a place of protection, but it's also a place that is protection because it's very well defended. It's a fortified region where you're protected because can't nothing come to that area, they're gonna get shot down. You get what I'm saying? That's a stronghold for Yahuah's people. The stronghold has the connotation of an arrow, a man laying in wait to shoot, and also a snare, different things like that. It's a stronghold for Yahuah's seed. That's the flocks. That's why we've been talking about this for years, that the protection is in the assemblies. The refuge, that's the word we're looking for. The refuge is amongst the assemblies of Yahuah. Not any assembly. It got to be Yahuah's people. It got to be the assemblies of the Most High. Everybody say the assembly, but it's not a whole lot of them that actually of Yahuah, where his Ruach is, where he dwells, where he walks in the midst. So Yahuah, when we read it and we say, for Yahuah walks in the midst of the camp, that's military language. If you read that whole Deuteronomy 23, that's talking about in war, the camp of the people of Yahuah when they're in war. That it needs to be clean and don't need no refuse in the camp, for Yahuah walks in the midst of the camp. That's why he said to do what? To deliver thee and to give up thine enemies before. Right. This ain't just like I'm protection because I'm out somewhere away from everything and I'm through. No, this is protection like, yeah, Yahuah will deliver all his enemies into your hands. It don't mean that you're not gonna have no fight, because I think some of us had this thing that, oh man, we in the truth, so we shouldn't have to have no fights. We shouldn't have to have no battles. No, the battles are gonna come, but you're gonna win. The battles are gonna come, but Yahuah's gonna deliver them to your hands, the enemies into your hands. A stronghold is a place of safety, a place where you are provided for. That's why that line, you will lack nothing, like Maury was saying earlier. That's because you are in amongst his flock. You are counted amongst the flock. So these are different aspects of the offerings. Now, one of the offerings is you can't do the turtle dove. We didn't get into that today, but there's a Ruach aspect to all these offerings. It's interesting that the bull wasn't mentioned here in verse 2. It was the livestock, behemoth, the flocks, bakar, and the herds. I mean, the flock zone and the herds, bakar. Now, another interesting thing about flock zone is that it's very similar to Zion. I didn't put that in there, but it's very closely related to Zion, which is that's the name that the scriptures call Jerusalem many times, Zion, the city of David. It has the Zion has the Sadi and the Nun in it as well. And Zion is about a stronghold that was taken from the powers that be and then secured by the seed. So they're both about a stronghold for the seed. You see what I'm saying? So Zion is about the flocks, in a sense. It's really closely related to that. So when you see the flocks, you probably see Jerusalem. Oh, snap. When you see the flocks of Yahuah, when you see his sheep, you probably see in Zion. You probably see in Jerusalem and didn't know it. Because the mission is to build the new Jerusalem. So when it comes to this, y'all, we just need to have a mindset, and we'll talk more Most High willing. But it's about having a mindset of sacrifice. Pretty much everything that everybody talked about that they Most High dealt with them on the trip about was associated with sacrifice. When it comes to the Most High, everything surrounds around sacrifice almost. Everything. So much so that he offered his own son, right? Yahusha. And don't think that you can get out of sacrificing by getting out of by leaving Yahuah. Because the enemy all about sacrifice too. Oh yeah. Oh man. Man, look, when you look at this stuff in the entertainment industry, these people who done made covenants with the marine kingdom, and all of a sudden, you know, their children, something happened to their children or something happened to their family. A lot of this stuff be going on, be sacrifices, y'all. These are deals that they made. So a lot of times they didn't know what they was getting into when they made the deal, when they made the covenant. But once they get too deep in, they don't turn back. And a lot of them, if they got to offer up their child or offer up a close family member to hold on to that fame and fortune, they'll do it. And they'll be walking, looking like the victim. And the whole time it was a full-blown sacrifice. Man, look, this stuff is real. I mean, you know, I know there was, it was this one singer, man. It's like her whole family one time. That joint was crazy, man. Yeah. And then right after that, she just catapulted. Blew up. But, you know, you'll never know 100% for sure if it was deliberate sacrifice because they, you know, you talking secret societies, so they ain't gonna tell, they ain't gonna say nothing. But I do believe, actually, the only person I think actually admitted it was Kanye. And that's just because I think he done lost his mind. All them ruachs, man, he done lost his mind. So I'm pretty sure it was in a song or somewhere. He literally said he sacrificed, or he was just speaking real fast. He was just talking. He said he sacrificed his mom. Yeah, I know he said multiple times he sold his soul to the devil. He was just straight up, and don't nobody pay attention to him. But he be telling it all. So don't think you're gonna be able to just get out of sacrifice just because by leaving Yahuah. Oh man, I ain't really trying to do all that sacrifice stuff, man. Look here, man. I'm just getting into this world. Oh yeah, and ain't no middle ground. It's like who you with. That's why what do Israel deal with? What do Yahuah deal with Israel all the time? Man, y'all always sacrificing to these other Eluahs. Right. Y'all always, it was never no like in between. No, you gonna sacrifice to something. You gonna sacrifice to something. Because we are built for that. We are wired to do that. Right. When you hold back from when you hold back from offering your offerings on behalf for Yahuah and for the kingdom, oh, them offerings gonna go somewhere. They just not gonna go to Yahuah. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, you tithing somewhere. If you're not, your tenth ain't going to Yahuah. Ain't no middle ground. It's going to something else. It's going to who your real Eluah is. Nobody in here, but I'm just saying in general. Hopefully nobody in here. People tithe to the stock market every day. People tithe to their addiction. That's your allure. Man, you ever look at somebody who addicted to weed and they say they always don't got no money, and then you look at their track record, man, you spent $20K on weed, man, last year. That's your allure. That's where your treasure is where your heart will be also. But I want y'all to tie in offerings with lifting up your head. That's the biggest thing I want y'all to take away from today. Because that's very significant. Lifting up your head isn't just saying, we go and we bow down and say, or something like that, or, obedience is submission is the best way, is one of the greatest ways to lift up your head, but that's associated with sacrifice too. That's what a whole burnt offering is, giving your whole self over to Yahuah in submission and obedience. That's what a whole burnt offering is, giving your whole self to Yahuah. But another aspect of lifting up your head is giving something that's Corban to Yahuah. Giving offerings, making sure that, so we didn't go through the whole Torah portion for time because it's like 6 chapters, but y'all read the Torah portion. You read the peace offerings. You look at all the stuff that goes to the priest. That's core. It says it's an offering made by fire to Yahuah. Those things are Corban. You are lifting up your heads by doing that. When you make sure that the priesthood is through, we make sure that the Melachim is through, when we make sure, through our obedience, through the things that we do day by day, when we make sure that we're contributing to the kingdom, whether it's with our time or whatever. That's a way. If it's Corban, if it's with a thub heart, that's one of the best ways to lift up your heads. That's a part of the covenant. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All praise to the Most High.
So to the point about everything that you do is an offering. So that's what that word ish mean. Don't ish mean fire? Ain't that right? Ish means fire. So as man, whatever you take on is going to become an offering. Whatever you take on is going to become an offering, whether that be obedience or disobedience, or like Musha was saying, there's no really getting around that, because everything that you do as ish, as a man, is an offering. That was a really through point. Like, there's no, even if you like, man, this Yahuah thing just not for me, that just means you're going somewhere else to offer. to do your offering elsewhere. That don't mean you stop offering. And then I was going to say something on that last thing you said. That last thing you said about lifting up the heads and how, you said the point of the lesson, or not the point, but the main thing was like lifting up the head of the house by the seed that we're offering. Okay, so how offensive that can be to the American mindset. That is that's the protector. That's why I put him on Torah. It's stool. That's trash now. But how offensive that can be to the American mindset, to where you say, like, man, the way you do your offering is by lifting up. The way you lift up the heads is through your offering. It's through the giving. Hold on. Yeah, the way to lift up your head is through offering and sacrifice. Yeah, the way to lift up your head is through offering and sacrifice. So I'm thinking for myself, like, okay, what is the offering that I give? What does that look like? How do I lift up my heads with my offering? Just something to think through there, because that's that's going to be key as we talking about like establishing a kingdom, because that's the kingdom mentality. Because even if you look at like Dawood, when he was in wartime, he thirsted from water from the well in Bethlehem. I think that's right, the well in Bethlehem. And then his soldiers literally ran through like 3 towns, killing people just to get a cup of water for him. That was them lifting up their head. And you can read about those same men. So at the end of 2 Samuel, like towards the end of David's life, you read about the men of renown, or David's mighty men. And those same men that did that, they were remembered in the scripture, and they're remembered today because they lifted up their head, like they made this sacrifice, this offering. But see, in America, we kind of thought we're kind of taught like, oh no, that's just idol, that's idolatry, which, you know, at some point there becomes a line, but that's a whole nother story. But we're taught like that's idolatry. That's not. You don't really need to do that. They a man just like I'm a man.
It's just a mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's just a mindset. And I know, you know, people did that in the church. Like people will go in. I remember it was one church in Atlanta. They went in to get past the airplane. Creflo Dollar, man. Creflo Dollar bill. But and I remember when Malek Mine said, he would always be like, man, look, they believe in their leader enough to do that, man. I can't knock that, man. They believe, you know. And I was always, you know, thinking in the back of my mind, like, yeah, it makes sense though. But reading the Torah, I see why, because that's how you lift up your heads. The nations be knowing how to do that stuff. It's really Israel who always had an issue with that. Israel was the rebellious people. The other nations always knew how to do that stuff, man. And so we could learn. Not saying, not talking about getting no play in that. I'm just saying the mindset, right? That's what Creflo Dollar said too. I need an airplane, man, so I can spread the Basora. But you ain't spread no Basora. You talking about the law done away with? Ain't nothing Basora in what he talking about. But anyway, it's just the mindset of wanting to lift up your heads through offerings. You know, that's just one way of lifting up your head. But it's a major way of doing it. That's why Yahuwah's whole system was of offerings. And the way Yahuwah wanted you to do, I want you to give these offerings to the priests, these peace offerings. I want you to give these portions to the priests. You know what I'm saying? The grain offerings, this amount goes up to me. You get a handful of the fine flour, you're offering up to me, but the rest goes to the priest. Like that was, like you was like, yeah, this is the system every day. He wanted the mishpah. I really submit he did it because he wanted the children of Israel to, number one, know how to lift up their heads and know how to submit to Yahuwah. But he wanted them to submit. He wanted them to be able to know how to submit to the priests, y'all. He wanted them to understand. So he had them in a system the way they were constantly having to do sacrifices to Yahuwah, but it was through giving to the priesthood. You know what I'm saying? That's why you had that whole situation where when they were speaking against Aharon, he was like, okay, we're going to show y'all, okay? Y'all throw y'all staff down there, then the one butted. You know, Yahuwah was doing all these different things to try to, because Israel is just so rebellious, man. We just could not lift up our heads. We always just had an issue with that all throughout our history. And it's just, when you read the wilderness, all the things the Most High was doing is just try to get them to understand, just try to get them to drive home. It to the point they tried to stone Moshe. Like, man. And King David, he did his people loved him for the most part, but there was even the times when they came against King David. There was times they wanted to stone King David. There was times where the whole nation wanted to rebel against King David. They wanted to roll with his son. His son led a whole rebellion against rich King David, man. And so it's just something about that. All the prophets, they always got that, man. Everybody always came against the prophets. Prophets got persecuted. Many of them killed. That's why in the Bri artists, they talk about, oh, man, children of Israel, they killed the prophets. Man, what? And then we look today, oh man, that's crazy. Man, we'll never do that. That's Yahuwah's people. That's Yahuwah's people, man. The prophets would never do that. As soon as the prophets come and say something, you ready to stone them. It don't got to be literally stoned. It's striking them with your words. Speaking against them because they doing the same. It's the same ruach of our ancestors, man. Same thing. So Yahuwah constantly comes up with these things and these systems to try to get the mishpachah to his people to submit, to be able to receive a word. I mean, it's all, it's all the same thing. It's all related to each other. To be able to receive the correction, let the shepherd break the legs. But the majority just, man. I know who was that? It was Shema was saying how she wants to be able to receive. She wants to be able to receive a word. She wants to be able to do that. And that's through, but that's not enough. Everybody wants to. Nobody say, I'm going to be a rebel. And you think Korah was like, man, I'm going to be a rebel and have Yahuwah take me out and everybody else around me who followed me. Man, I'm telling you, I guarantee you that Korah's whole mindset was, man, I'm going to serve the Most High. I'm going to be submitted to Yahuwah. I'm going to follow him. Man, all praises to the Most High. That was his whole mindset when he went against Moshe. When he went against Moshe, he thought he was serving Yahuwah. He said, man, Yahuwah speak to me too. I bet Korah got, when Korah said that Yahuwah speak to me too, you think he was lying? He was a Dakota Shem. That was Moshe's first cousin. He probably received all kind of visions from Yahuwah, all kind of dreams, everything. Everything. Yeah, he probably helped counsel. He probably was part of the elders of the wilderness. But God beside himself and thought that he was better than Moshe. So I know that was strong when Maury was like, man, he's higher than you, Even I was like, But it's you gotta have a proper perspective. Like I'm not gonna, like it's real. Like I know in order for me to do what I need to do and to be in order, according to Yahuwah, I gotta keep that proper perspective of my leaders. That I am not them. Look, man, I know that, Yahuwah put me to, the responsibility to labor and to lead one of the assemblies, et cetera. But no, I'm not gonna get beside myself and think I'm finna be moving like and be one of the Meleks. No. Nope. And this is how you do it. It's not just wanting to ain't that's not enough. It's by the Ruach HaKodesh. That's the only way. It's through Yahuwah. It's how you're able to submit. It's through Yahuwah how you'll be able to receive a word. You're not going to be able to receive a word by your own power. I'm telling you for real. I'm telling you, it's going to be a word. You'll be able to receive words for a couple of years, and all it takes is one word to come through that just it don't resonate with you. You don't agree with it. If you don't have Yahuwah, you don't have the Ruach, you're going to rebel. This is what we've been talking about. Yahusha purposely was able to sift out the people who was really with him by giving out hard words. And he knew who would receive the word as his. So he'll purposely say, man, whoever would drink my blood, eat my flesh. That's it. Drink my blood, eat my flesh. You know what I'm talking about? Like, man, what? Man. And so if you don't have the Ruach, you automatically, you taking them as too common. You like, man, look here, man. Nah, Torah say you ain't supposed to do that. That's against the Torah. You feel me? Nah, man, he ain't of the Most High. Man, we're going to go back over here with these Pharisees. When the Pharisees in bed with Rome the whole time, you trying to leave Yahusha, follow the Pharisees because you wasn't able to receive a word. If they discern, man, this is Yahusha, the son of Elua, if they had the Ruach, they might have been like, man, I don't understand this. But now we're not going to leave you because we know you, man, you the son of Elua. We don't fully understand it. We'll pray on the understanding, but we know who you are. So look, man, we we in here. You know what I'm saying? It takes the Ruach to have that mindset, though. You're not going to understand everything. You're not. There's going to be words the Maleks pour out. There's going to be words I'm going to bring out maybe from what the Maleks want me to, bring out to y'all or something the Most High will show me. But you're not always going to understand it. That's not, sometimes the Most High might have one of your heads to bring out a word to you that you're not going to understand on purpose, just to see where you at in your submission. Are you going to rebel just because you don't understand it? Are you just going to totally misinterpret it? Because some people, man, they have a misinterpretation filter. Man, I'm telling you, over the years, for real, you'll say something and they'll interpret it the worst way possible that possibly could be interpreted. You're like, dang, you got that out of what I said? You got that out of that? And they be serious. Yeah, you spoke against my mama, you spoke against my dad and my children. How? When? And they'll say what you said. You got that out of that? That ain't nowhere near anything close to what I had meant by that. But some people, because of the traumas and the things they've been through, it's a default to just interpret whatever you say the worst way possible. Misinterpreting everything. That's why, man, look, I try to, especially when I'm doing teachers that I know is going to be online, I'll try to, do disclaimers and all that, and I'll be like, look, this is not what I mean. I know some of y'all be like, of course not. We know that. Listen, nah, yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to be somebody going to misunderstand it and be like, yeah, nah, he's saying this. It's the Ruach, y'all. It's Yahuah. If you keep your eyes fixed on Yahusha, if you're doing your prayer times, if you're having that intimate time with Yahuah and Yahusha, everybody here is pretty much, man, y'all received the Ruach. So if you're doing those things, you're staying faithful to him. You're staying faithful to the covenant. You're moving in the terms of the covenant. You're moving in Torah and truth, Ruach and truth. You're studying the Torah part. You're doing these things consistently. Inconsistency, that causes breaches. Consistently, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Some things might be a fight, but you'll get through it. You'll be all right. You won't die. You know what I'm saying? When I mean die, I mean ruachally die, like it, cut off. Because the Ruach is gonna always, Yahuwah is gonna be there for you. He's gonna cover you. He's gonna make sure you'll be able to receive the word. So don't worry. I'm not saying this to you to worry. Because if you hear this far, I mean, man, you gotta have had the Ruach by now. Most of y'all done prophesy, that means the Ruach been upon you. That's how you're gonna be able to get through this. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right.
So you had me, just if I can say one more thing real quick. You had me realize something when you were just saying that. So if you think about the words that came out, like particularly around the trip, and even Shema mentioned some things with Zaria and how that was difficult. And then Hoda mentioned things with her children and how that was difficult. It seems like there's this thing, I'm thinking like, man, people keep having a hard time with the children. We've been there, I ain't excluding ourselves. All right, I know Hadassah testified to it. We've been there. It's like, man, you want me to do what with my child? So that's your flock. That's your cattle. That's what you've been talking about. And I'm like, man, is this why this is coming up? So you had the word cattle, right? And then you had the word flock, and that's really what children are to us. And I'm trying to make sure I say this the right way, because I'll say it this way for safety. So I think that the pressing may come through what Yahuwah requires of your children. Because like when you look at Abraham, I'm gonna just read this real quick. It's Bereshit 22. Bereshit 22. It says, in this verse 16, this is just whatever version came up, New Living Translation. So y'all get the point though. This is what Yahuwah says: because you have obeyed me and have not withheld even your son, your only son, I swear by my name that I will certainly baruch you. So when you think about those examples you brought up, so you brought up the people in the wilderness. They had a hard time obeying a hard word because they were worried about their children. They said, man, you brought us out here, and surely our flocks and our livestock and our children will die. And then when you look at Korah, like, you got to really look at that whole story, because the chapter before, Yahuah just told them to turn around. Like, yeah, you at the land of Canaan, but turn around. Ain't none of y'all going in. And then, matter of fact, only your children going to make it. Then there was another example you gave. I just can't remember what it was, but it keeps going back to, like, the offering coming from the flock. But I say that, I got to, again, like that disclaimer, I'm not saying that your children are your offering like that. I don't want nobody to hear it that way. I'm just saying that there's pressure put on you because of your children, because of the relationship with your children. Yahuah will continue to put pressure, because in a sense, like, that's probably the hardest thing for people to do, is to give their children to Yahuah. That's what I mean, not offer your children. I'm not saying that offering your children. I'm saying, like, giving your children. Go ahead, we'll show you going.
Nah, but I understand why you're doing the disclaimer, because it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Somebody gonna be like, oh man, he said sacrifice the children. He would admit it, but it's real. So when you give your children fully to Yahuah, that is an offering. You know what I'm saying? That is a form of an offering. So, yeah, because that goes back to Corban, because it's what's nearest to you. So Corban also has the like nearest of kin. It's like Corban. It's the same word though. Those who are your kin, your nearest to you, your children, those who come from your belly. You know what I'm saying? Your seed. Those are those are offerings. The whole thing is about sons, man. That's why you see seed in there as well. But yeah, nah, you right on it, man. You right on it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So even on the trip, it was about the children. Even the thing with Candy, I believe that was mainly about the children, because it's one thing. It's easy for me to refrain, but when your baby like, man, I want some candy, that's another thing. Well, not hard, but still another level to it when it comes to your yellow dean. But yeah. Something that just came to mind while we were just praying, doing the ironic blessing, is the blessing of the So when you think about the story of Yaakov and Esau and Yaakov. So Esau and Jacob, do y'all remember the story with Esau and Jacob and the situation with Isaac is for their father? When Jacob, what did Jacob do in order to get the blessing?
Put goat skin on his arm, I think, or his leg.
Yeah, and what was the main thing that he did? Shannon got it. He killed of the herd, or of the flock, a goat. His mama gave him the wisdom. He killed of the flock, sacrificed a goat. So the thing about Esau is that Esau didn't deal with the flocks, did he? Esau, he was a hunter. He hunted game. But we know that game ain't no offerings. Ain't no offerings for no game, no deer or nothing like that. His mama, out of his wisdom, they got a goat from the flocks, killed it, and even covered him in the skin, and then he made him something to eat out of the flock. It was not of the game. Because of that, Yitzhak received it. He accepted it as an offering. Because it's interesting. It's like Yaakov knew, even though Yaakov didn't deal with the hunting, Yaakov somehow knew he couldn't give him no fruits and vegetables. For real, he knew to get the blessing, he had to give from the flocks or the herds, in a sense. See what I'm saying? It's symbolic. Y'all see the symbol is like, if that was the way to lift up his head, he knew his dad was the savory. He wanted meat. And so when he gave that to him, the scriptures talk about how, man, once he gave it to him, man, he really received it. He really enjoyed it. And then he gave the blessings, the covenant, and all that to Yaakov. You know what I'm saying? Noah offered up an offering after the flood. It was a sweet aroma to the Most High, and Yahuah made a covenant with him. He made a covenant with him, man. And so anyway, I just wanted to put that out there while I was on my mind.
All right, so we're gonna jump into the parking lot. We starting at 7:27 today, y'all. This is from Anthony.
Oh, he typed that himself?
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, that kind of make me look at this different. Shout out Ebri.
Yeah.
All right, so from Anthony. So can we eat real sugar from the sugar cane?
So right now, tomorrow, we can look at that tomorrow. Tomorrow at sunrise. So Khan, yeah. Actually, Bethel talked about eating sugar cane. You just chew on it or something like that.
Mm-hmm, it's food.
I ain't never did it before. I ain't never did it.
Hey, think about it. Then he also wants to know, is coconut a fruit?
I would say Khan. Coconut is a fruit. Khan.
I thought it was a nut because it's a coconut nut.
Maybe so. I thought it was a fruit.
I was just going dad joke for the win. Alright. So,
But where's the seed at though?
where's the seed? I don't know. I don't think.
The coconut is the seed. So that makes it more like a nut then, because that's what a nut is, a seed. Y'all. But it's so sweet though. It tastes like a fruit.
It is a type of fruit known as a fruit, not a it's fruit.
We got extra push-ups tomorrow. Some wall sits tonight. Plus some push-ups.
Alright.
Be extra for no reason.
Yeah, you got some energy to burn. Alright, y'all, so let's get back. So we got, so at 8:10, that's where we at. So this is what I was reminded of when people was talking about the Mishpachah on the trip, and Ima Angie specifically. So 1 John 1:7, it says, but if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another. It's just a sign that you're walking in the light, that you can walk amongst the Mishpachah and fellowship one with another. And then this is from Anthony. He said, me and Jameer were playing the djembes. Yeah, I was going in. And then this is from Zaria. She said, I don't remember what day it was, but I was praying to Yahuah, asking him what scriptures can I read to be rockly strong. And he sent me to Psalm 24.
Hallelujah. Yeah. Man.
And I'm assuming this is Anthony. He said, do the clouds show the things that is happening? Do the clouds show the things that is happening in the Shamayim?
Because of the picture with the clouds. Oh, okay, I get it. Well, the answer is sometimes it does, but you know, Toda Rabban. Sometimes it does, it just depends, you know what I'm saying? So the answer is it depends. Sometimes it does.
So this is just something to think about. I put in here because it's something I'm gonna think about. It says, I said the Gentile wanted to give to us. And there's just some questions to consider. I don't have no answer, y'all. But would you accept it? And then consider how you see yourself. And then do you see yourself for who you are? Because I'm thinking in my head, I was like, man, that would be uncomfortable if somebody's like, hey, let me give you this money, let me give you this money. I'd be like, man, what you want, bro? Like, if I don't want no money from you because you're going to want something. But then just think about what you were saying, Bushar, how like, that's their salvation. Man, it could actually be a through thing. And there's a line here, y'all. I ain't saying like, you know, walk around telling people to kiss your shoes and all that stuff. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when you have people like that, because that ain't the first time that's happened in the Mishpacha, man. Like, I feel like that this year it's happened more than it has been since I've been here. It's just something to consider. Like, man, if they know who you are, do you know who you are? And the receiving of a gift from them being their salvation, and it's just really, it's a weight to me. It's weighty to me.
So prepare yourself, because it's coming. So the alarm is going across the four corners, y'all. That's what was going on. We was on that beach, y'all. The waters was flowing, living waters flowing to the four corners of their rest. Even what happened here. So listen, we get back here and the waters have flooded the floor in the kitchen. That was a sign that what we were doing down there. That's not the first time that happened. When we were, even on the bus, water started coming inside the bus, y'all. Literally, water started dripping in the bus. Then as Ima Oriol brought out, then as soon as we leave, y'all know that it was sunny and beautiful the whole time. And this is Florida. Like, when we lived in Florida, it would rain every day. South Florida, right on the water, on the beach, it rained like, you know, it'd be like a 20-minute rain, but it'd rain like every day. Y'all, the whole time it was sunny and beautiful. It was 60, 70 degrees every day, y'all. 60, 70 degrees every day. Then as soon as we leave, the storms hit. Yeah, man. Actually, Shamar, wasn't the storm supposed to hit the day we were supposed to do the fishing trip? And then it changed, y'all, and it held up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. So all praise to the Most High.
So we at 8:45. Yahuah says, Corban, this is why we have to be intimate with the Most High during our prayer times. You can't just pray.
Real quick. Just type it out.
Man, we got to get up typing classes, man.
I know. It's like it's in automatic. It's real quick to type real quick.
RQ. All right, let me try this again. Corban, this is why we have to be intimate with the Most High during our prayer times. You can't just pray real quick, as if you're praying over your food or something.
Or something.
That's real, though. That's true. Yeah.
Short hair.
What you're trying to say is correct. That's what you're trying to communicate is real.
Yeah, because you want your prayers to be accepted. You want to be heard. So it needs, you know, praying over your food. You know, that's through to bless your food. But then there's those set apart times where you really gotta be, you know, consistently, you know, having your prayer times with the Most High. So that's the through point.
So this is from Zuri. We had the word kireb as a vocabulary word at school when we studied kuf.
Man. Yeah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh, you know what? Man, it just dawned on me.
How I remember it?
That's okay, no worries.
How I remember it is that it sounds like Caleb. So I just think of Caleb, and yeah, it sounds like Caleb.
Oh, yeah. All right, y'all. I want y'all to look at this real quick, real fast, y'all. This is man, Yahuah, man, it's amazing. Okay, remember this scripture in Mark 7 that we talked about the Corban? Y'all just go there real quick, Mark 7, real fast. Now you need to go there in your scriptures though, because we're gonna pass by what's in here. All right, so remember the scripture. It said this is when Yahushua was talking about what's Corban. He said, I'm gonna read from the screen, verse 11. It says, "But you say, if a man says to his father or mother, whatever profit you might have received from me is Corban, that is a gift to Yahuah, then you no longer let him do anything for his father or his mother, making the word of Yahuah of no effect through your tradition which you have handed down, and many such things you do." So remember, this passage was about what's Corban. Yahushua is getting on them about what's Corban, getting on the Pharisees about what they're considering Corban is not according to Torah. Now look at the next verse after verse 13. Because now remember that Corban is associated with Kareb. Remember, Corban is associated with Kareb, which is what? Your entrails. Okay, now read verse 14 right after this. Man, this is amazing. When he had called all the multitude to himself, he said to them, "Hear me, everyone, and understand. There's nothing that enters a man from outside which can defile him. But the things which come out of him, those are the things that defile a man." What are they talking about? Yeah. They're talking about the things that come out of you when you eat. Like, we didn't realize how deep this was what he was saying. Because he associated Corban with Kareb, with your entrails. Did y'all follow that? This is look, verse 18. Look at verse 18. So he said to them, "Are you thus without understanding also?" So he's going even deeper. He's letting you know. "Do you not perceive that whatever enters a man from outside cannot defile him? Why? Because it does not enter his heart, but his what? But his what? And is eliminated." How is stuff that enters your stomach eliminated? It goes through your Kareb. It goes through your entrails, your intestines. So anyway, we don't got to read the whole passage, but I just wanted to point that out. Because, man, Most High had just dropped that on me while we was just talking. Like, that whole passage was surrounded around Corban and Kareb. Yahushua in that passage was showing how they're related. Hallelujah. Yeah, your thoughts, your career. Yeah, go ahead, read it. Yeah, you got it.
Okay, so two things. I'm gonna finish reading what Mushal was reading. I'm gonna start from 20. And he said, "What comes out of a man that defiles a man?" Wait. "What comes out of a man that defiles a man? For from within, out of the heart, men proceed evil thoughts, adulterers, fornicators, murderers, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lewdness," I said it right, lewdness, "an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these things come from within and defile a man." So when I was on our break, when I was in the bathroom, I heard What is it for a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? So that's what I heard when I was in the back during the break. And so the thing is the sacrifice is, will you receive a ruka? Because if you look at the things that defiles a man, it's these things that you keep on bringing to the altar. Every Shabbat you come, every prayer time you come, you keep bringing these things, these thoughts, these feelings, these things that's in you, you're bringing them out. But you're not allowing him to heal you from it. So what happens is it takes root in your stomach, right? So he wants to eliminate it, meaning uproot it and eliminate it from you. But you have to allow him to do that. And so that's what lets him know if your sacrifice is pleasing or not. Because if you can rid yourself of these things that was in your appetite, these things that you hold on to, the sin that you continually go back to, right? Because of trauma or whatever it is. Those are those sacrifices that he keeps saying that I need you to burn these things up. And so that's just something that kind of like, out of everybody, what everybody been saying and me hearing him say, what is it for a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? It's him saying, are you going to choose to continue to be in these sins, or are you going to come out that your soul may be free?
Psalm 23, you're supposed to keep the refuse out the camp, right? Not Psalms, Deuteronomy 23, I'm sorry. So your camp will be Kodesh. On the bus. For real though. You know what I'm saying? On the bus we was like, hey man, Mishpaka, no, we don't want no refuse in the camp. That's why we don't want no boo-boo on the bus, because the toilet don't flush or nothing like that. So it's just, you know what I'm talking about? It's just right there. And so we was like, this was in the covenant. The Most High was like, man, amongst the camp, any refuse, go outside the camp with that. That's what the Most High was saying. That was that whole covenant passage was about. Don't boo-boo in the camp. That's what Most High said. He said, don't boo-boo in the camp. Just go outside the camp, dig a hole, and do something out there. And he said, for Yahuah is in the midst of the camp, to the liberty, and that's what the whole verse is about. So I just think that's kind of interesting how you saw some similarities there, how we was trying to, because in our mind, we're just thinking from a service perspective, like, man, we're just not trying to smell that. We're just not trying to have that in the bus going on. You know what I'm saying? But Ruachli, it's kind of like, man, keep the refuse outside the camp. We can make extra stops, all that. We could do whatever. Let's just keep the refuse outside the camp.
Hallelujah. Girls, keep it down in the back. That's your second warning. Alright, Yahuah ben Asaf. This is dude. Melech Musha said that you can't serve any entity without being faithful. So if your faith isn't with Yahuah, then it's with some other entity. There is no in between. That is real. You're going to be faithful to something. Zakan Ubal, I submit that all those billions of dollars that are going to those heathens in our land every year should start coming to the real Israelite once they realize we the people of the book. Bless Israel to get your blessings. That's scripture. Man. As it has been mentioned, they get their blessings on how they treat us. Hallelujah, all praise to the Most High Yah. The second Exodus. Yeah, that's I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you.
Nah, man, look. So what we need to start doing is we need to start positioning ourselves for that. No, for real, it's coming, man. You don't want to wait till the shaking happens and you're trying to figure out how when they're trying to give and they're trying to. It's like that lady. We wasn't ready. That's why, man. That was for preparation, because we wasn't ready for that. We was like, we didn't see that coming. We was like, oh no, that's all right. Please, nah.
Go ahead, because I missed the whole thing.
Yeah, she was saying it's hot. It's hot in Florida. Like, I want to get y'all some water. I can buy y'all some water.
So yeah, we got to look at ways to position ourselves, man. Like, for real, to have a way, easy way for people to give. For real. Yeah, easy way for people to bring possessions, to volunteer, whatever. I don't know. We need to be a little bit more, I would say, intentional about believing these words and these what's coming, believing these prophecies, and out of immunity, position ourselves to receive what's coming. I guess is the best way to word it.
I'm glad you said that, because I was immediately suspicious. Like, she gave me as well and said, "Can I give you all some water? Please let me give you some water." And I'm thinking, what you gonna put in that water you giving it? You know? So Bob is saying that because, yeah, you just automatically suspicious thinking somebody trying to harm you, especially being who we are, you know? So.
Now, I was just saying that she was really in awe. Like, her face and everything was just like, her mouth was dropped, like, I need to give y'all something. Because I saw her, and then I saw you and Andrew go close to her, and I was like, oh no, what's she doing? And then when we walked off, she turned literally, and she was just standing like this. Like, literally, like, mouth open, just looking. And I was like, oh, the Ruach must have hit her. She knew.
Man. Nah, seriously.
It's just like when we went to Augusta, we were in the lobby, and we all came down with our, well, not all of us, but most of us had our jackets on with the crowns on it. And the man came to me, and he was like, he saw my shirt, and he was like, man, that's my favorite verse. And I was like, hallelujah. So then he saw me and Mushala right there by each other. And he said, I just have one question to ask y'all. And he was like, Yahusha, or he said Messiah, or he said something like that. He said kings and priests. And then we both said, Khan. And then that man just was like, and he didn't say nothing else. He was just silenced. No, it was a guy from in another nation. I mean, I guess he knew the word, but he knew specifically me and her when we were right there. It was everybody in there, but he asked us.
So I see you. So that's a serious thing, though. Like, it's really something that we got to start getting out our head, because again, we don't really see ourselves like that. We don't see ourselves like that. We see ourselves as like bottom of the bucket still. And you have to, and this is, I'm talking to myself too. You gotta challenge your belief. When Yahuah says, I'm gonna do these things, do you really believe it? Because Yahuah's like, I'm gonna make you the head of the nation. See, the thing is, we've been the tail for so long that the thought of somebody just willingly giving us something without interest, without a 25% interest APR, that's crazy. We think we do. We're like, man, I got this car loan for 3%. We think we do. Nah, man, people. So go back and listen to the Melakim did a lesson at Sukkot or Shavuot, but the thing is, you got to listen to it with headphones on, because the quality, it wasn't like the audio quality wasn't the best, but you got to listen to it on headphones on. And Melech Yahusha talks about Dawood's zeal and how Dawood built the temple and the reason Dawood was driven. And then he goes through Isaiah 60. The whole chapter of Isaiah 60 is about people giving stuff to you. That's the whole chapter. The dromedaries will come from this place and give you these things. They're gonna bring your children on their shoulders. But see, if we read that stuff, but it's hard to fathom because of this captivity. But this thing is real, y'all.
So you got to start looking. I'm telling you, I'm talking to myself too. You got to start looking at how you carry yourself. Because we used to carrying ourselves like, look, man, we used to carrying ourselves like we in the hood, thugs, and, you know, like, y'all know the word that, you know, our women go by. But we used to carrying ourselves like that. When somebody just stares at the beach and looks at you like in amazement, that's the Ruach. This has happened to us many times, y'all. Like, you know, we wear them lion backpacks when we out. We went to this conference. I'll give you 2 examples. We went to this conference, and man, them people was tripped out. They was like, man, who are you guys? Who are you with? You know, we was there under, you know, kind of like a code name in a sense. But they knew it was something more. Date night, yeah. Date night, man. This lady thought Hadassah was just a queen. Which, I mean, she is, but she was just blown away by Hadassah's beauty. She couldn't even eat her food. And then we was at the airport coming from Georgia, and this dude said, hey, I know you guys are the real Israelites of the Bible. He said, Toda Yahuah. The dude, we was on the way from, were we on the way from Augusta? From Augusta, that's right. And he's like, I know you guys are the real Israelites. Even my Shifra had an experience. She was in Walmart. She had her hair wrap on and her shirt, and there was this African lady that came up and he started bowing. Yeah, oh, that's right. He started bowing. So all I'm saying is that we got to start getting these things in our head, and that's a part of what Mushal was saying as far as getting in position. Because you're not going to be able to receive these things if you think if you slumming it out here. You're not going to be like, man, nah, I can't take that from you. No, that's just too much. I can't take that gold and silver from you, because you don't see yourself as kings and queens. You don't see yourself as kings and priests. Because you got to think about it. Like, go back to that lesson. I'm pretty sure it's, which one? Trump. It's the trumpets one from last year. Tola Rabah. It's the trumpets one from last year where Melech Yahusha begins to talk about Dawood and how he received gifts and how he was zealous and how he expected. Look at how he was with Nabal. He expected Nabal to give him something. He did. He was like, hey, look, I took care of your sheep. Hey, man, we need bread. Nabal was like, man, I don't know you. David said, bet. Now I'm not going to leave one of y'all alive that pee on the wall. I'm going to kill all of y'all. And then enter Abigail. But Dawood had this mindset about him like, man, we royalty and you going to treat us as such. And we have to get that back as royalty, because we're so used to being the bottom. We're so used to being mistreated. We're so used to not seeing ourselves like that we have to get in the mind that we royalty. That's why it's important, Yeladim, how you talk to one another. I got on a few of y'all heads. Like, y'all talk to each other like y'all not showing honor to each other when y'all talk to each other. How dare you call your brother out his name? Treat your brother like he less than. Man, that's not honor. So we have to just get back into that mindset of being kings and priests. But that's all a part of just getting in position, because I'm telling y'all, this is going to happen more. When we go to Pesach, wait till we go to Pesach and we all dressed alike. Boy, in Caldwell? Caldwell ain't never seen nothing like that, I guarantee you. Caldwell got all of 530 people or something like that. We bringing 531 people. So Caldwell ain't gonna never see nothing like that, but you gotta be in position. They be like, hey man, how do I give to you? Rebirth ATX at Cash App Rebirth ATX. Cash App Rebirth of a Nation. Like, get to that point, and I'm talking to myself, get to that point where you able to receive that, because it's their salvation. But this is, oh, you don't want to change? You said you thinking, or you don't want to change the subject? Oh, you all right. Just real quick, while you considering. This could be a snare for you if you are haughty and lifted up, though. Because instead of saying Cash App ATX, you gonna say your name at your name. I'm being serious. That's what happened. It'll be a temptation. Melech talked to us about this. How, man, look, the stuff that Yahuah getting ready to roll out, especially looking at D28 and stuff like that. Like, when you started proclaiming the throne experience, y'all, If you full of self and you got any self in you, this is about to expose you, and it's going to be a snare. It's going to set you up. Because you're going to wind up taking the offerings from the priest. That's what you're going to wind up doing. You're going to say, oh, how can I bless you? Yeah, go ahead and give me that 20. Give me them both. As a matter of fact, give me 2 20s. And then you're going to be blessed. That's what Absalom did. That's what I'm not going to go into all that. But I'm just saying, make sure that your heart is ready for this. Mushal will actually warn us on this. Oh, was it last year you talked about the kabod coming to the nation and being stars? He warned us that, man, you got to be ready. It's here now. So if there's any self in you, you're going to put your name at that Cash App, that Venmo, that PayPal, that Zelle. Shout out Zelle. You're gonna put your information there, and you're gonna receive a curse. Because this is why this lesson is so important. Man, praise Yahuah for this understanding. This is why this lesson is so important, because it's about lifting up your heads. That's what it's about. That money, man, look, that really, if they want to give, let them give to the ministry. They ask you where to give, say Rebirth ATX, or Rebirth of a Nation, or Augusta, or Anderson, or Ebri. Like, yeah, they talking about school. You ain't no teacher. Let them go to Ebri. From the Ebri, this is nation building. So when people are gonna want to give to this nation, let them. Don't let your pride get in the way, y'all.
They'll ask you, they'll be like, how can I serve? How can I, when I see that there are people that's helping others, I like to give, or I like to help out. So what I'll do is I'll tell them, hey, look, we have children that's in the schools that, need to be sponsored. Or you can tell them about, things that we're trying to build up and things we need to, need to pay towards. We're trying to get a new building. Whatever it is, right? You tell them those things. And then you give them that information, they can cash out to those things. Because I've had people ask, I just told them about the school. They said, no, I don't have no children that need to go to school, but where can I donate? What can I do to help? And once you give the information, you did your part. Now, if you can't hold their hand and all that, hey man, you gave that money, you can't do none of that, but this is about knowing the information. Make sure you give it to them. I think Rebirth National will be like the main thing, because I know there's a lot of things there and here that need to be done, as far as in the building and things like that we're trying to do too. So.
Yeah. I just say real quick, because I don't want to be long-winded. It's just, this lesson is important, y'all. So when you're talking about like Corban and how that offering is about lifting up the heads and it's about the seed, understand, man, like you can't establish a body without the head being established. Hadassah was telling me this, that's actually how babies are formed. Like their head is the first part, it's the biggest part that's formed in the womb. Pressure? Oh, even when they're born, yeah, their head comes out. Oh, that's deep. Even when babies are born, if they're born the right way, their head comes out first. That is deep, Mushala. That is deep. So it's really, look, man, we just passed the point. If you offended by that, then you just gonna have to wind up moving around, honestly. But you have to lift up the heads, because the body, you're not gonna get a body without the heads. You're not gonna have a kingdom without a king. That's the bottom line. If we establish in the kingdom, we gotta establish the king. That just is what it is. Like Dawood, even when you go back and read the story of Dawood, like Dawood went through the wilderness, but they made sure Dawood was taken care of. And as a result, next thing you know, he reigning in Judah. And then next thing you know, the northern kingdom of Israel bringing him offerings. Next thing you know, he ruling over Judah and Israel. Now all of a sudden the kingdom is united. Now this is the greatest kingdom in the earth. Now he putting other nations in subjection to him. The heads have to be established, y'all. And you can't be offended by that, man. Like you can't get to a point where you like, man, this is too much, or what about me? You don't got to worry about you if the head is established. Because once the head is established, the body gonna function. The body gonna follow.
That's it.
Just to kind of stay on that point, it's like a funny story I had. Back when I was in school, it was this dude. He got kicked out of Michigan. So like I played at Ferris. He got kicked out of Michigan for stealing like Xboxes and PlayStations and computers and stuff. But like he was like he was him. Like he was legit like that guy. So like this dude wouldn't come to practice, like nothing. But like Saturday, bro was starting. Like the dude who was practicing hard wasn't playing at all, bro. But it was like you knew. Like that, like he the head of the defense, bro. Like you're not playing. Like coach ain't even gotta say nothing to you. Like I'm saying that because like it's just some people that's just set apart, that's established to be like the leader. Like you just there's nothing you can do. Like you can practice hard as you want to be, but like you're not him, bro. Like so, yeah. Watch out when he get here. I know he in practice. I'm talking about I'm suspended like for like failing drug tests. Like I'm selling to him and he like going to play Saturday and I'm sitting like yeah he like I'm talking about, bro, it's crazy. Like if you could see it, it would be like yeah he don't gotta practice, he can play he don't gotta practice at all. Like he him. But like my point is like it's some people that's just established to be him, like Mushal is him. So like there's nothing that you're gonna be able to do. Like there's like he's here on Shabbat, like so he can miss all week, like he's here Shabbat. So step back, like it's like I can't explain it, bro. Like you know, like we get in this little like this mindset of like, especially us, like we like colored people, like we feel like we could do everything. I know it'd be times like it was times when I was playing and I'd be like, man, this quarterback suck, but like. I really couldn't do better. I really felt like I could, but like really, I couldn't do better than that. Like it could be trash, but like you just gotta get in that mindset of like, man, it's just like that's how Babylon basically perverted everything. Everywhere in the world, somebody is a leader. Like if the president came, like then like everybody gonna have to move. Like it don't matter who you is, if you're in the way like of the president's car coming through, they gonna push you to the ground. Like it's just that's just like this is what they stole from Yahuah and they made it into their own thing, bro. Like this is it. Like just just roll over or get rolled on. Like I don't know how to say it.
It's crazy because the whole offense set up to protect one person.
Yep.
Whole offense set up.
The whole league is set up to protect one person.
Yeah, the whole
I just think it's interesting that last Shabbat, at the beginning of praise and worship, the whole thing was establishing Mushal and setting his feet on the ground, and then we went on this trip and we were tested on whether we would be obedient, and through our obedience, whether our obedience would lift up Mushal or our disobedience would show that we really not honoring Mushal or even our parents or whoever's our head.
Yeah, praise Yahuah for this lesson. She gonna put the notes in the chat, y'all. Please take a look at that, man. Just y'all gotta get this lesson in you. We gotta get this lesson in us. Because if we don't establish this in the earth, then we cannot establish the kingdom of the Shamayim. The whole kingdom of the Shamayim worships Yahusha. That's it. That's it. They don't do nothing else but worship Yahusha. Their offerings is to Yahusha. The kabod goes to Yahusha. So we just got to get this lesson in us, man. All right.
Well, I just wanted to, well, I didn't, but now I am, talk about what you just said in reference to the Shamayim, like their whole thing is about worshiping Yahusha. I literally was led to listen to Mushal Kowal vision, this Boker. Like I was listening to his vision that he had, I think like last year or something, and he was talking about like people would be lining up to go ask Yahusha a question, and you know, as soon as they reached before Yahusha, all they could do is worship. Like they couldn't even, like that's all they could do was worship Yahusha. So I was listening to that as Boker, so praise Yahuah for that.
Okay, well, let me just say this. It is through to listen to that vision from Mushal Kowal, like at least, you know, a couple times a year, just to keep that in mind, because, man, that's huge. Yeah. Like, for real. But keep going.
And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was just the Mishpaka. And the other thing that stuck out to me on the trip was when we were on the beach and then the guy came to us and he was basically like saying like, so he basically like recognized and said the word like y'all are a family, and he was like, and this is your head. Like he knew that Mushal was our head. Like that wasn't nothing, like he didn't have to be like, oh, like who's the head around here. He was like, you's the head. Like he knew, he recognized, and he was like, and this is your family. Like he said family. So that's another thing that stuck out.
Yeah, I thought about that too. That was wild. I'm like, man, okay. Trying to figure out the best way to answer that. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah. He was like, cause he was like, y'all are family, huh? Like, yeah, you got it.
You talking about the man in the red, right? Yeah. But huh? Nah, he knew who to go. He knew who to go to. What was I finna say? Oh, it's just to double back on like what Mushal be saying about like we in the NBA, like literally like that's what it feel like. That's what it feel like, cause the people was just like this at us, like. That's what NBA player, like when you see, like if you see LeBron James, you're gonna be like, that's how the dude was like looking at, and like we getting on the bus and the dude just looking, and like you know, like Maury said, we come from people looking, you get to be like, what, bro, like what's up, like but not like I was keeping it cool, like bro was looking and he like get up to walk, so I'm like, man, what he on, like he like, you know, y'all can come play it tonight at Treasure Island, and I'm like, oh, all right. So like, yeah, he was watching our whole group like walk past. He was sitting at the bar, he wasn't even drinking his drink no more, he just watched us all just like. And then he just like, I was just straggling along. He like, you know, y'all can come play at the Treasure Island tonight. They do a drum off. And I was like, I'll tell my Mushal, like, yeah.
Like Akosi Uriah said, when we were walking on the beach and like in front, everybody was staring. Like people was just in awe. The children were in awe. Everybody was in awe.
That's what people do. Like when they see LeBron James, they pull out phones. That's what the people was doing. Like when, like it just reminded, cause like when you see like LeBron James or like Kevin Durant, you pull out a phone. That's what the people was doing. They was pulling out their phone. This him, like this is them. Like,
I was just reminded on the last day when the bus stopped at our Airbnb, we all went to like take showers. Like two kids, like a black kid and a white kid, were walking together, and they were just walking on the other side of the bus, and their faces were like, "You see that? You see that?" And they're just like amazed that a bus was in their neighborhood, and like I guess they saw us entering to the bus, and they were just amazed that we were entering to a bus and a bus was in their neighborhood.
Just to bring all this back to the lesson that Mushal just taught, man, I'm telling you, this level of kabod, this is through, man, like all these recounts, all these stories about what the things that are happening to the next generation. Y'all better get ready, man. Y'all better get ready. I don't want to say to the next generation, because the truth is, Melech Yahushua already prophesied about y'all. Y'all remember that Houston trip, that winter trip? Y'all gotta get right. But to the generation, I'll say to like the generation after y'all, maybe 2 generations after y'all like the Jamirs, y'all got to get ready for this. Cheyenne, Arya, y'all got to get ready for this, because I'm telling you, if you try and steal the kabod of Yahuah, so what the equivalent is this. Go to Daniel and read about, I think his name was Darius. I think he was the king during the time when Daniel, I got to think about that. It wasn't Darius. It was some Babylonian king. And the hand was writing on the wall. That's because they tried to steal the kabod from Yahuah. They used the Kodesh things to drink from. And Yahuah said, okay, I'm gonna make that a cup of trembling to you. So you just gotta make sure that you know how to return the kabod. And what Mushal was teaching today is how to protect you from that. Because the offerings go to the head, y'all. The offering go to the priest. What it look like if somebody sinned and told the priest, hey, now I'm gonna just take this offering to Yahuah? They would have got killed. We see it happen. What's the dude name that reached out and grabbed the ark of the covenant? Uzziah. Uzziah, right? Yeah, Uzziah, man, look, he wasn't a priest. The ark was stumbling, and out of his, maybe out of his stupidness, he went and grabbed the ark. Yahuah's like dead, struck him down on the site. So you got to make sure that you understand this lesson. I keep saying that because this is important. This is how you survive the coming kabod, because the weightiness of it can wind up killing you if you don't know how to handle this. Because you'll think it's you. Melech Musha say this all the time. Yahuah use any man. It's about the character. That's what he's concerned with. The Ruach that's on me can fall on Jameer. Everything that y'all see me do, Jameer could do. Because it's the Ruach of Yahuah. It ain't nothing I'm doing. Yahuah care about my character. How do I handle that? How I look at that? What is my prayer times like? The power and stuff, Romans tells us that the gifts are without repentance. The gifts are going to be gifted because you Israel. Don't think you something special. That's what Mushal was saying, like being the head of the assembly. He don't think himself something super special because of that. Yahuah could choose anybody, but he understands that, man, Yahuah chose me, so I operate and function in this. All right, so we at 9:55, y'all. So Ima Angie put a picture of a coconut in here from Wikipedia. It says images may be subject to copyright. Oh, she said, how the coconut is the seed. Oh, I get it. Hallelujah. I was like, I don't understand. Okay, yeah, the coconut is the seed. Isha Hadassah put the scriptures in here. Vayikra, y'all can read that. The Roar Yahu said, so should we receive gifts from people? Because people at work give me stuff, be trying to give me stuff. Because people at work give me stuff, be trying to give me stuff.
So what do they be giving you? You gotta be specific. What kind of stuff do they be trying to give you?
So, no. Well, yes, but no.
Oh, no.
So one guest, I don't know who it was, but they left like a package for me, and it was like a whole bunch of like Hawaii candy. And I don't know who the guest was. They just left it for me. It was like Hawaiian candy and a Hawaiian calendar. And then another guest, because the rodeo's going on. So this one guest, he's like over the whole entire rodeo, and he like supplies all the cattle and stuff. And he was saying, I can get you like some tickets. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, it's like,
No. You just say, we need some cattle.
Yeah. You give me some cattle. I'll take a cow.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I done got me an Xbox One and a PlayStation 5 for my job. Like, I sold the Xbox One though.
Yeah, no. So, should you receive gifts from people, you gotta be careful of it, because sometimes people are trying to coerce you into a thing or something like that.
I don't know what that
Covenant. Gifts can be a form of covenant, but it depends on you gotta discern it, right? Like there's not gonna be a cookie cutter answer to that. Because the answer can be yes in some situations and no in other situations. You just got to discern it. What I would recommend is just involve your ama and your ab to it. And say, hey, look, ama, this person trying to give me this thing. What you think? They're going to ask for the details and let them give you direction on it as you learn to discern these things. Because when somebody comes with the ruach and the attitude like that woman did in Florida, it's like, man, she trying to, like, this is an offering. Because some people are giving gifts so that they can receive. Other people are just giving offerings. So you have to learn to discern which one's which. And again, that just takes the exercise of your senses. So for you, to answer your question, because like to you directly, involve your ab and your ima and let them help guide you on that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, the flowers in the candy.
Man, look here. Yeah. He might worry I got. Like, so this is the thing. So we kind of talked about this before. You probably kind of already know what I'm going to say. But people are wicked. When you're dealing with the world, like, so you work at the desk.
Yeah, at a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Cause see, it's the thing. Man, look, they talking about, man, I can get you some tickets somewhere. It's always gonna be an expectation after that. It's covenant. See, that's why the Most High moves off of sacrifice, off of gifts, cause that's a relationship. Yeah, that's a relationship. You take that gift, they gonna think you. Oh yeah, we in a relationship for real. You think it's all dude, and they come over 2 weeks later. Hey, what's happening? How'd you like the rodeo? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm gonna be in town for another week or so. Can we go out tomorrow? There's this Mexican place over here that I like to go to. I'm have some friends with me, And then now he done spent $400 for some tickets. Like you gonna have a thing in you that's gonna be like, man, that'd be cold to just say no. Like for real, like people are wicked. Like the way people forge a relationship. So the Hebrew word for offering made by fire to Yahuah is Isha. So we know. Even when I met, what happened when I met Annette? I'm trying to give her stuff. I'm trying to see what I can pay for her. For real. It wasn't even. Yeah. It wasn't nothing like that. Wasn't balling at all. But you know what? I'm gonna sacrifice because I want this one. Man. Look here. What you need, man? Here you go. Oh man. I pay for your food, pay for your friend food. Whatever. Yeah. That's how men think. So even that's why when a lady was trying to give, like when we were in Florida, my mindset was like, oh no, because I know that's they try to it's a way to try to forge a relationship. It's a way, it's covenant. You know what I'm saying? Corban, that's a gift. That's what Corban means in English, a gift to Yahuah. So, what was the first thing? So the rodeo, what was the other thing? Oh no! Oh yeah, candy. Oh yeah, and then a Hawaiian calendar. So why do you think they did that? Okay, you take the gift and what? Okay, they was trying to. No, it was anonymous. But let me show you how this works, I'm gonna show you how that works. Oh yeah, I'll show you how that works. 2 weeks later, this little 20-year-old tall, dark, and got that money, but don't got nothing about Yahuah in them. He done took trips to Hawaii. He done took one trip to Hawaii. And then he come back 2 weeks later. Hey, how's it going? So how'd you like that gift? You gonna be like, what gift? And he'll be like, man, you know, Hawaiian calendar, woo-doo-doo. You'll be like, oh, yeah. Kiki, haha, yeah. Yeah, that candy was through. Yeah, I had got that just for you. For real. You in there. You already tempted now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So the best thing to do is do not, especially somebody you don't know, don't take no gift. You don't even gotta ask me every time. Just nah. Nah, that's the answer. Nah. You don't even have to do that. That's the answer, no. Ain't nothing for free. Ain't nothing for free, man. Yeah, we got you. Me and the medic get you some candy. You need some candy. Not till tomorrow. Man, you know, I met like Andy's. He like, but nah, honestly though, you know what I'm saying? It just opens up a whole nother can of worms. That's not worth it right now. You gotta be focused right now. You gotta be. I knew that at that job there was gonna be temptations. That's why I kept trying to talk to you. I kept, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, you know, just be careful for this, you know what I'm saying, you know. So that's just what goes on with that. But go ahead though, but we'll talk more.
Alright, so we got Ivan Angie. I don't understand, y'all. I'm gonna need some captions with these pictures. Cats answered by Castor. Catster. Questions about calico cats run. Okay. Alright. The colors of the calico. Oh, you had a vision of the calico cat. This one here.
Oh, the black, yeah.
That's a brown and black one. I like calico. You heard that before, Yasha?
Of course, you love that.
Is that some California stuff?
I was just gonna say something like, you know, in the event that you run into somebody that does want to bless women or rebirth or whatever, and not about that electronic life, that digital funds, well, they give you the fund, like just say they got cash.
You got a lot of
I'm like little Marge Simpson right now.
Marge Simpson.
I was just saying, I was thinking, like, not everybody is down with the whole electronic cash thing, you know. And let's say somebody does want to bless you, and we want to direct it to rebirth. If you take that blessing, you better make sure that you transfer it. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Because not everybody does. Not everybody does that. Electronic, you know. So, anyways, it was already said. I realized it, but I was just thinking at a different angle.
No, you're right. So,
So we at 10:19, Ima Oria. At work, the head cashier came to me and said the supervisor wanted to talk to me for not doing some cleanup and taking a long break. So I said, okay. And I told him that I did some.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you okay. So I said okay and told him that I did some, not all, because of the weather. I don't sit and talk or let them put personal trash in my ear. The next day I went to her and asked her if she wanted to talk to me about something. She said no, she didn't know what I was talking about. So they was being messy, being funny, or she forgot.
And the way I went up to him, I said, you want to talk to me about something?
No, I didn't have anything to say. Yeah, who knows?
And I was talking about that he can't hear the little single bell. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. So Shama said when the babies come out feet first, it's considered a breech birth. Yeah, I think that's butt first, huh? Feet first? Okay. Ema said feet first, and she a nurse, so I'm going with her.
I mean, it could be
Either one? Okay. Hezekiah from Yahuah. Isn't the brain the most important organ in your body, and your brain is in your head? The brain, that hurts. The brain may or may not be. I don't know. It depends. I think the heart might be. At least, it depends on who you ask.
So the part about the baby coming out, breech. So the baby coming out in the wrong order is breech. So it made me think about how being out of order causes a breech.
Oh, that's what she was saying. Oh, that's
Perez.
Hold on, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Because even Perez, it means breach, and that's the same word as a bull. Peresh. Oh, snap. Speaking against the chief. Peresh, and it's probably a Zon, so you got to look at the whole breakdown. But you see Peresh in there. A breach. And so when a baby is a breach, what is it, Peresh Zon? Oh, I thought y'all was looking it up. But when the baby is a breach, that means that the head is not going first. So with some other part of the body that's going before the head, that is a breach. Yeah, that's deep, man. That's deep. The reason why that's so deep is because right now it's a birthing of a nation that's happened. It's a birthing that's happened. And the head got to be first. Oh, that's a Saudi. Peres Saudi. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Okay, we have to look at that another time to really break that down. But man, all praise to the Most High.
So I'm gonna put the Shabbat notes in the chat. Yahuah. I call Eshed Deuteronomy 8 is a through chapter to meditate on, so we don't forget Yahuah and all He has done. Yeah, that's pretty important to do.
About how He's gonna give us streams and rivers and springs of water and a land flowing. Man, that's a powerful chapter.
He also speaks on if you forget me, what will happen? Don't forget this is the work of my hands as well. So yeah, they have that big sign with Deuteronomy chapter 8 on the high place for HRT, and we have to read it before we could even do anything on the land. So
So Shema said, I was given 2 nightstand tables and some glass dishes because she was moving and downsizing. Your job was moving and downsizing? Oh, the nurse practitioner gave you 2 nightstand tables and some glass dishes. Man, hallelujah. And then last comment, oh wait, is that, you was just telling us, right? Or did you? That was all you were saying with that? Okay. And then the last comment, she says, can all the ways to donate to the ministry be put in here so we have it on hand?
Yeah. Cash App Rebirth ATX, $ Rebirth ATX, and the PayPal is rebirthatx@gmail.com. Oh yeah, we got the Venmo too, huh? I gotta look up what that one is again.
You had some, Shema, or Iman? Oh, you have one more? Okay. Oh, snap. Iman Angie put breach. It's a noun. An act of breaking or failing to observe a law, agreement, or code of conduct. Oh, man. That's it. That's it. All righty. That's it, y'all. Hallelujah.
Rebirth of a nation. Hebrew kingdom building.